Well, welcome back, everybody, to Guber Talks. My name's Justin.
I'm Gavin.
And I'm Anger.
We're back with episode 32?
Two-ish? Somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm. A number. We're still quarantined. Nothing's... Who is that? Oh, it's Joe Biden.
It's our one true savior, Joe Biden.
Yeah, there you go. They can run for president.
All right, I'm getting rid of that. What are we talking about today?
We can mention that. I mean,
Yeah,
Joe Biden is the Democratic nominee for the election.
pretty much,
That
yeah.
he is.
It's all but official.
Yep.
So that's new.
Yep,
How do you guys feel about that?
He's been endorsed by
Everybody.
Bernie and Biden or Obama.
And Warren. Warren now.
Oh, Warren did come through?
Mhm. Yep, earlier today.
Yeah, so
So
I
how do you
mean-
feel about that, Gavin?
love it or hate it, it's what we got.
Yep.
So
It's what we've got. I guess it's, yeah. Oh, well. It's just about
That's-
taking the,
that's
the
pretty
lesser
much-
of two evils.
yeah, that's pretty much the reaction everyone has is going, oh well.
Oh, okay. I'm
If we have
still
to.
gonna vote for him. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
how do you guys feel about people not voting because they're against Biden?
I think it's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
We've had plenty of arguments over the last couple of weeks about this topic, and yeah, it's like you can hate Biden all you want, but if you don't vote for him, because the Trump supporters, whoever you're voting for, whoever you're listening, or if you're listening to this and you're a Trump supporter, you're an idiot. But the people who are voting for Trump, they're going to vote for Trump regardless of who
Yeah.
the Democratic nominee is. So it's like, if whether it was Bernie or Biden, Trump's getting the same number of votes. So if you were all in on Bernie and you were like, okay, I'm going to vote for Bernie, and then he's not in, now you're not going to vote. The Democrat side goes down, but Trump's still up there. So it's like it's not like they're both going to go down and be equal. It's one side's going down, the other side's staying up top.
Up. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's gonna do anything. Like,
I would be interested to see if Biden is able to turn any, I guess, any like demographic or any like one region Democrat where Trump had won in 2016. That'd be interesting to see. I don't know that he would, but
If he does, I think it'll be less about Biden winning them over and more about Trump losing them.
Yeah.
Over the last 4 years.
yeah, we'll see.
Iowa could be a swing state.
What's that?
I said Iowa could be one of those states where it was red for the last time when Trump got elected. Could be blue
Yeah.
this time. You never know.
We'll see.
But I mean, thinking back, when was it even? In
2016?
January when?
Oh.
Yeah, well, no, when Iowa had our primaries, I mean, it was Buttigieg and Bernie,
Mhm.
like really close, and Biden was like, was he third or fourth?
I want to say
He was like fourth or fifth.
maybe even fifth.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I mean,
'Cause-
like,
'cause
Warren
was
Warren
still-
got third.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we'll see how many of those Bernie and Buttigieg supporters go for Biden, but it doesn't seem like that would be the case to me, at least.
Yeah, I think if they had an option, they wouldn't go for Biden, but because it's the only option, I'm hoping that they still roll with it. And they're like, because I do agree. I think it's stupid to vote for a party regardless of the nominee, but in
Mhm.
this circumstance, it's something you kind of have to do.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
Yeah, you can vote for, technically you vote for whoever you want, but if you're voting for someone that isn't one of the top two main candidates, it's essentially a wasted vote. Because like you can have your principles and you can stand up for whatever you want, but if you vote for one of them, it's guaranteed they're going to lose. So all you're doing is guaranteeing the other side wins. Just whether you agree
Yeah.
with that or not, it's
Yeah.
how it
No.
goes.
I agree. I think there's no point of people being like, I'm going to stick it to the DNC. Like, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the DNC for,
Yeah.
doing this, but
And
again, not voting is not going to help at all.
yeah, and it's like maybe in 4 years you can have that option if there's two, normal candidates. But I think this is kind of a pretty major election, seeing how the
Yep.
last 4 years have gone and what could happen in the upcoming 4 years, or even just next year with what's going on currently.
So many good things happen, Gavin. There's so much good stuff he's doing. He's fighting for Americans. He's fighting for the middle class, guy.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm
the
very
rich
like
middle class.
I'm very just like irritated. And it's like all my Facebook. I was complaining to Bunny about this earlier, but all my Facebook is just like even family members who are like well off and shit and were complaining about this whole like quarantine. There's like, I have an unpopular opinion, but like this is all a big sham, and like the media is playing up this virus. Like, not a lot of people have died in Scott County, so therefore it's not affecting here. Like, if it's not here, it's not helping in the world. It's like, no, it's not how this works, dummy. There's like the numbers are so low because people are quarantined and we're social distancing. Like,
well, yeah, and even that, if you look at the numbers in the U.S., not just like our county or state or whatever, just the U.S. as a whole, they've skyrocketed over the last few weeks. And there's a few different things you can attribute to that. You can say more people are getting tested, which is true. Like in January, nobody was tested, so obviously the numbers are just going to skyrocket from there.
Yeah.
But we have more cases than anyone else, and I believe 2 days ago or the day before that, we hit the most number of deaths than other countries.
Yep.
So it's like, yes, we have a big population, but so do other places.
Yeah. There are a lot of like right-wing people that are like, well, China's not giving us correct answers and numbers and stats, so therefore they're probably ahead of us and blah blah blah, all this bullshit. And it's like,
which might be true. Well, yeah, I mean, it's totally possible that that's true, but that's a weird like competition to have. It's like, oh, we don't have the most deaths, so we're fine.
Yeah, exactly. And
yeah, no,
it's just frustrating.
I go on like my Facebook feed probably once every couple of weeks, and I just kind of scan through just because you need that little taste of drama just to get you through the day.
Yeah,
yeah, I see a fair number of that about how luckily I haven't seen a whole lot of people that I follow saying it's completely fake. It's more that everyone's overreacting. It's not as bad. Blah blah blah. Yeah. That whole thing. But yeah, and then going back to the politics thing, I've seen a couple people who up until now have been like 100% pro Bernie, and now they're like, no, I'm not voting. It's like, no, it's like
it's not gonna help.
If you were pro Bernie, I thought you would have been paying attention enough to know why it's important to vote.
I also love how people are like, if you said he's not your president, you can't take the stimulus check. And I'm like, that's bullshit. If you're so Republican, then you shouldn't take the check because that's technically financial aid and what you consider socialism. So you're being hypocritical by taking the check. So
you're giving a handout.
Yep. It's funny, eh?
Yeah, and it's
how we can do it. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, as far as I'm aware, it's free money. I don't think we're going to have to pay this back in any form of taxes or anything.
Nope.
I mean, they might raise taxes, in the next couple of years, depending on who's president, but it's not going to be a direct impact of like, this is because of the stimulus.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's free money. So if you take that.
But Gavin, it couldn't be done. It can't be done, even though it just happened. And even though I think a lot of the money from the what was it, $3.3 trillion plan or bailout bill that they passed wasn't all going towards Americans. They're going to like other things like hospitals and stuff, small businesses.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
The
big businesses.
Yeah,
exactly. And then there's a big business thing too. It's just kind of bullshit I found out about today.
Yeah. Well, corporations are gonna, and like there is a small business aspect to it. But the annoying thing is, it's like some people are like, oh yeah, good job government, they're helping the small guys out. They're doing the absolute minimum they needed to, because the original plan was
awful.
Yeah, and it got
Did you
denied.
Read it?
Yeah, it got denied by the Democrats because the small business portion wasn't doing enough. So it's like, okay, we're going to raise it to what we can to get by, and that's what they did. And
I don't know if the point of contention was like what they were doing for individuals. I know for certain it was, it had to do with like a slush fund, or there was going to be like X billion dollars that were going to just be like set aside for like Amazon and like I don't know.
500 billion, and they couldn't invest it in stock, which is like, okay, like
Yeah,
that's their limitation on that free money.
yeah.
It was a lot originally, and I remember how I found out about it was one of my family members who's, you know, right as could be, and they're like, the House Democrat libtards are denying us of all like hardworking Americans all this free money and all this shit. And it's like, did you read the bill though? Like the bill is not really helpful towards Americans though, and that's the fucked up thing.
Yeah.
But what do you know?
surprised.
You just listen to your Daily Wire headlines.
I'm surprised under this administration, something hasn't been signed into law by like accident. Like somebody didn't fully read something, like a bill, and like now we all have to wear green shoes on Sundays or something stupid like that.
That'd be really funny for someone to try out. Be like, I want to see how far this can get before it you know, it gets shot down, and just something simple like that.
Mm-hmm. It's just bonkers. But what can you do? I know that I saw an article about how they wanted to give another $2,000 to Americans. Or this proposed bill by a couple of House Democrats.
To everybody?
That'll get shot down, but what?
To everybody, or is it like specific?
I think it was going to be like an ongoing thing like they have in Canada.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I also heard too that there was a proposed idea of giving people who work in like essential jobs who are not like unemployed like an extra bonus at the end of the year. But
that'll never happen.
That won't happen. Exactly. Yeah. So I hear these things, but whether or not they, you know, come to fruition is another thing.
Yeah. So. I do think they should give, you know, some variation of like hazard pay to people that are working, you know, essential jobs. It's like outside, definitely like healthcare providers, like nurses, and, you know, like EMTs and first responders, all that stuff that have to deal with it without really a choice. They should all get something, but also because in this case, like people who are working at grocery stores and
I would really like a grocery store stimulus because those people don't make enough to begin with.
No.
Delivery drivers.
Well, and like a lot of grocery store employees are, you know, like high schoolers and stuff. Yep. So it's like, I'm sure they don't want to like be spending their time off in, you know, a building that's flooded with random people all day that they can't control whether they're healthy or sick or, you know, wearing a mask or washing their hands or anything. So it's like, I wouldn't mind having a little extra cash if I were doing that job.
Yeah. Well, and then I also heard that Amazon was hiring, what was it, 10,000 employees?
I heard it was like 1 million people.
Was it? It's something large, but it's like, that's so crazy because they have a lot of people protesting right now because they're on like their habits are like the working environments, not habits, but the working environments are very poor. So they're, it's like,
but here's the thing. There's a lot of people without jobs right now. So it's one of those things. It's like Amazon's a big enough company that as shitty as it is, they can get away with saying, if you don't like it, you know, you don't have a job. It's like, we're not going to change because there are 1 million people out there that need a job that we're going to pay.
Unemployment's not the worst thing ever because I heard how much they were getting paid weekly, like the pay for it.
Oh,
and there's so many people applying for it, but I forgot how much it was. It's based on your salary plus, or how much your salary was, and then an extra like 600, I think.
Yeah, I mean, based on your salary is how unemployment's always worked. But the additional is you know, centralized to right now. And it's like, you can, I guess technically some people can be making more a week or a month than they were working, depending on what their salary was. But a lot of those people might not have jobs in 2 months when like the country, you know, opens back up. They might be in a position where they no longer have a job. So then their unemployment will be less because the stimulus would have, you know, run its course. So, but they also don't get any sort of, you know, benefit that they might have had from the job, whether they had like health benefits or, you know, anything like that.
That's the nice thing about the Disney situation because they got furloughed. Is that how you say it? Or furloughed?
It's where you're without pay, but you're not fired.
So they get health benefits, to my understanding, still, but then they can still apply for unemployment, still get paid. So that's pretty sweet. And then when they go back, they get their jobs back essentially when they get when everything opens. So
Yeah.
Disney's doing that, which is pretty cool. And I'm not usually on the business side, like a big pro Disney person when it comes to that. But like they waited a while when they closed the parks, which I think they lose millions of dollars per day of being closed.
The parks are their highest revenue,
Yep.
like stream. So yeah.
Yep. So for them to wait so long, I think it was like 2 to 3 weeks, which is a long time for Disney for them not to like actually fire or furlough people. They're actually paying them. It's pretty cool. And then they did all of that. That's going to be a nightmare once that opens up and like everything else opens up in general. Like it's just going to be a big old mess.
Yeah. I'm actually interested to see how many people like right off the bat go out to like amusement parks and
a lot.
You know, like hit the movie theaters day. Ow! Punch my desk. Hit the movie theaters day one and like do all that stuff. It'll be interesting.
I mean, I would almost think that. I mean, hopefully, places wait until whatever the government or whatever controlling body is like. All right, it's safe to go outside and go eat and sit down in a restaurant or go to a movie again. I almost think that it might result in like a second boom if everybody floods the streets at once, just because everybody will be in contact again. I don't know.
I think it depends on when it happens. Like if it happens in June when the weather's like bright and warm and all that, I'm sure there will be a lot of people doing outdoor-ish activities or anything. They're probably not going to be going shopping and stuff like that necessarily. They're going to be like a lot of people traveling, like road trips and that, just because they've been stuck here for 2 months, so they want to get out.
I feel like restaurants are going to be like over flooded with people because people are tired of eating at home or takeout and stuff like that.
Yeah, unless anybody had trips already pre-planned and paid and all that, I don't think there's going to be a lot of people going to like Disney, like new people, I mean, or like any resorts, in Mexico and stuff like that, just because of the money situation, basically. But it'll definitely be interesting.
I think how Disney's going to do it, and which I don't think they're going to open probably it's like July, or the earliest June or July. I think they said that California parks close until May, which Bundy and I are trying to go to the California park in like July. We'll see about that. Yeah, but how I think it's going to do, or how they're going to handle it, is that with the My Disney Experience app, how you can like do like fast passes and all that stuff, they're going to have like a virtual queue for people to get in. Because first off, they're going to have to have people to train to open the parks back up, because they're not just going to be able to hire everybody back, because they got rid of a lot of people too. Second off, they're going to have to limit the amount of people that are coming in. Each park, I don't think all the parks are going to open right away. I think it's going to be like probably Magic Kingdom and maybe Hollywood Studios, which is where Star Wars is at. Epcot's way too big, and it takes too many people to work there. But I think they're going to have a virtual queue to get people to go into the park so they can contain the amount of people coming in, which a lot of people expect, or kind of like speculated that would happen, because at one point the app itself had like a virtual queue just pop up randomly to get into the park, and then they took it down right away. So a lot of people think that they're testing that for whenever they actually do open back up. That's how going to contain people to come in. That, and I wonder if they're going to enforce, if not other places are going to enforce like a mask policy if people come in, which would be insane. But any theme park or any like large gathering place like that might have the ability to do that.
Yeah, I think it depends on when they decide to open it. If they wait until like the WHO and all basically health organizations say, all right, we're good and clear. If they wait until that point, I don't think there's going to be any masks or anything. There's definitely going to be like more like hand sanitizing stations, just for more of a like a mental relief rather than anything.
Yeah.
But if they do like come out and say it's like, okay, things can open up, you can be in public gatherings, but we don't necessarily recommend it. If they open up, then they'll probably be like, yeah, if you want to stand in this line, you got to be wearing a mask because there's so many people crowded. But if you're just like walking through the park or something, you don't need to. Something like that.
They'll probably keep like the social distancing too with lines, which would be interesting. Or they'll do virtual lines, which they could do easily. Honestly, what were you gonna say, Bunny?
I'm just thinking about the merchandising opportunities. I mean, everybody's gonna want that Mickey Mouse face mask.
You get the ears. I was thinking, like a Toy Story, like a red bandana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just sells itself. I mean,
Logan Paul's selling Maverick masks right now.
I don't give a shit about him.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I just hear about this because of my stamp, but yeah,
Get a Darth Vader mask.
Yeah.
Like come down from the helmet.
Why not?
Do you guys have masks?
Oh yeah.
I have like my sister took, what are they called, like leggings, and cut them up into like masks, so like they're stretchy, but they also have like funky designs. They're upstairs, otherwise I'd put one on. But like one of them has like trolls on it.
Yeah. Bundy, when you go out to like Target and stuff to walk around, do you wear a mask?
Oh yeah.
Gotcha. I know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people when I go to Target, I say it's like 50-50. There's people wearing masks and a lot of people not wearing masks.
I think a lot of people think that it's not a big deal around here because we don't have state official wide shutdowns.
Yep.
Good luck.
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm not
to.
saying they're right. I'm saying that's why it's half and half. Because
I know.
I haven't really gone anywhere in the last couple of weeks when like they started recommending you wear masks like 24/7 basically when you're outside. But yeah, I'm getting groceries on Saturday, but I'm doing like the pickup thing where they just put it in my car. So
yeah.
Be careful because they forget half of your shit like they did with mine.
I'm assuming because I'm doing it through Walmart, so I'm assuming there's gonna be a lot of mess ups. But it's like whatever, as long as
Walmart's
they don't.
Pretty good to my understanding, like and Target.
That's what I've heard, but it's like as long as they don't like forget like $50 worth of stuff, I'll be fine. Like if they forget bananas or whatever, I'll be like whatever. It's like
they forgot a bunch of shit. I had to go back. I went to Hy-Vee and Hy-Vee did really bad. So
I tried to use the Hy-Vee one first, and I know I'm probably the only one that had this. Oh, Finding Nemo. I'm probably the only one that had this issue, but it's like I went to the site to pick out my stuff, and for whatever reason, I couldn't look at anything that wasn't on their like weekly special. So it's like, hey, you want raw beef? It's like, no. You want raw chicken? No. You want raw beef? I'm like, no.
How about some raw beef?
Yeah. So we'll see that.
Yeah. Fun stuff. Speaking of, what's going to happen after this, what do you guys plan on doing right after this quarantine's over? You're able to go out, maybe give it a couple of weeks. What's your itinerary?
I know my mom definitely wants to, like, her and like my sister and my sister's kids and all that to get together because none of us have seen each other past like doing a drive-by essentially. Yeah, we have family drive-bys. Just bam. No, but I'll probably play with my niece and nephews a little bit. Haven't seen them in a while. Go to some restaurant, like an actual restaurant, not like McDonald's.
Applebee's, bro.
Shut the fuck up.
Dollar
Way to
drinks,
go to
dude.
Applebee's.
Come on, I miss them dollar drinks, the half price apps.
What? We'll get back to you guys in a minute, but the Applebee's thing reminded me. Do you think there's any, or like what company or business, whatever, do you think is going to change the most after this whole thing? Like how they work essentially.
Sonic.
Because I know we've talked about like movie theaters shutting down and stuff like that. And like other businesses like converting from offices to at home thing.
Yeah, I guess if you have the ability to work from home, more places will do that, or more places will make pushes so that they have the technology to do so. I could see a lot of restaurants just going to like a pickup only, because then you literally just have to have kitchen space to produce food and stuff, and then
That's what I was thinking, because Applebee's already had like the curbside pickup thing that you can do. So it's like they might push more towards that and then be like that plus the bar, but not, the full-on restaurant on the inside.
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be different for a while. I feel like this whole event has changed how we're gonna be looking at everything when it comes to like any interaction we have, and hopefully how broken our system is with the government and affordable healthcare and stuff like that. But hey, maybe not.
Yeah, keep dreaming.
What is it for?
Yeah, keep dreaming.
We got 8 months until a possible change from that.
Yeah, that's again. I think that's going to be more. That's going to be a huge topic for any debate going forward between him and Trump, and I think it's going to be a selling point for some people to lean towards. If they're like in the middle, maybe it's a deciding factor of who they want to vote for. So
I heard this stupid ass argument the other day, talking about how great the country is and the government is, and one of their arguments was because we haven't had a school shooting in the last month or whatever. I'm like, That's your argument? I'm like, first of all, schools aren't even in session. Second of all, that's not something to brag about.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we finally haven't had a school shooting. Let's party.
It's like saying the Bears haven't haven't lost a game in June, and this football season isn't until the fall. And like it was, I read the article, but it was 2002. It was the last time we didn't have a month with a school shooting, and that's fucked up. That is not right. And they're not in session right now, so you can't brag about that statistic.
Yeah,
at
and
all.
I'm sure somewhere in the country there probably was one, if we're being honest.
Maybe.
Anyway, what were you about to say?
I don't like it.
I wanted to go do some shopping, go to Iowa City for the day, do like a little small trip just in case like Disneyland. It'll probably get pushed back.
We'll make time.
We'll go, but as far as like their, opening day, I don't know if that's gonna stick to it. We'll see.
Does that mean it's gonna shut down, or is it gonna give us the extended time again?
No, we got 9 minutes left. We can do this.
Oh yeah, we can do it.
Could we just set up a second meeting?
I don't know. So for those who don't know, Bundy and I are planning. Ooh, Wheaties. Ooh.
Hey.
It's so stupid. Bundy and I are going to go to California Adventure in obviously California, the Disney's California Adventure for the opening
in Ohio,
California, and we're going to go to the Avengers Campus, which is a new theme park. Well, in addition to the theme park for Marvel. So, spoilers.
That part of the movie was intense.
That whole movie is good. It's a good movie.
I like that movie.
I like that movie.
So what do you? Continue.
Yeah, that's like in July. So hopefully that pans out.
Which
Disneyland.
All of it's not even open. Like when they open it, not all the attractions are open, as per usual. Disney likes opening their stuff half open, just so they can get people in.
Naturally.
Yep. But they at least will have the Spider-Man ride, and that's about it. They'll have Mission Breakout, which is the Guardians one, but they have like an quote unquote attraction for the Avengers coming out at some point. But we'll see. They could push it back. I don't know how far along they are with construction before this all happened. So that's another thing. They did take away the date. I don't know if you know about this, Bundy. So it just says coming soon. So that means probably not going to be July. I assume September, October. Put my money on it. If anything, November. They could push it back even longer because they have so much stuff they have to work on.
Yeah, that's true.
But we'll see.
I meant to mention earlier, this past Sunday was Easter. So like my sister and her boyfriend, they still come over. We hang out and do dinners because they've just been quarantined in their house. So it's not like they've been anywhere else. No. But we went over to my grandma's house and we all just stood in her driveway and we talked to her through the screen door.
Like, hey, Graham.
Yeah, that was fun. I mean, we're far. I mean, it'd one thing if any of us caught it, we'd probably be all right. But like if, either any grandparents caught it, it'd be done so.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's another thing. It's just what were we gonna say?
I was gonna say on Easter, my mom came over and dropped off some like food that she made, and we like stood outside in my drive or whatever, like 10 feet apart, just talking for like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
like people were like walking by, looking like what.
Yeah, I miss it. I miss hanging out with people and going out and go to Smoking Dog, having a good time.
The dog. There's a chance that a lot of bars and restaurants won't open back up.
Yeah, I thought about that.
Especially local places.
Yeah, I mean, not like your neighborhood bar and grill, Applebee's. But I think I heard that the Black Sheep place. It's like right across the street from the Smoking Dog. I think they got fined because they were still like letting people in the door and stuff like that. So. Yeah,
well, we went the weekend before everything started like closing down. Like we had like the last opportunity to do anything.
Yeah, it was that St. Patrick's Day weekend. It was like literally the next Friday. It was like everybody, like no restaurants, no going anywhere, like social distancing, all that stuff.
Yep. And then we started working from home, and I haven't done much since. It's been hanging out.
Yep.
And I got to move in 15 days.
Minutes.
15 minutes. See you guys.
There you go.
That's going to be interesting. But, oh well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what I will do. I don't necessarily think movie theaters are going to be done forever. We'll see.
Some are. Not the big ones.
Yeah.
But just like some of the smaller ones that were kind of
Yeah.
already
There'll be some changes, but like I just want to go out to eat. And I'm fine with just hanging out at home. Like a lot of people are like, it's the end of the world. I can't go out and have someone cook for me, kind of a thing. It's like, who cares? I'd rather just hang out with people, or at least see people that I like want to hang out with. You know what I mean? Like my friends and family. I think that's the one thing. I'm just bored. I'm just hanging out home and playing video games all day. Except for I am watching all the MCU films right now, and I just finished Captain America: Winter Soldier today. So
Nice. It's a good.
Yep.
I'll probably
Thank God for the low Q.
Once this is all over, I'll get back into like normal shaving routines. Like I
shaved recently.
Not bothering shaving anymore. I shaved my neck this morning. That's all I've done.
Nice.
I'm like, I'll take a shower. Like my morning routine is wake up, take a shower, and then just go in my basement and work. It's like I don't need to like get dressed or anything like that.
Yeah. But when do you guys think this will be over? What are your speculations?
Honestly, I kind of hope not at the end of the month, just based on all because what I've heard is that the like peak of cases, it's supposed to not hit until June. So it's like, and that's assuming we follow the exact same practices we are at the current moment.
Yeah.
So it's like if we relax on that, then the peak will be bigger and badder. So it's like if we keep this up and get to the peak and then get past it and then get to the little tiny valley, then we'll be good. As far as when
I think for the rest of the month, we're donezo. But I think the earliest is like end of May, June maybe. Yeah, I think we're going to be doing this for a little bit longer.
Yeah, and it depends on how we handle the next month. Because if like all the hospitals get all the stuff they need and everyone is like good to go on that, then it might be a little sooner. But if it continues the way it is and people keep ignoring the distancing rules and stuff, then it's just going to keep going and probably till winter. Hell with it.
Yeah,
we're just going to stay in all year.
Yeah. There's a lot of speculation of like when the park's going to go up, like open back up, stuff like that. A lot of people are like, well, I could see it not opening up for the rest of the year. I'm like, that's not going to happen unless like it's really, really, really like it gets like 10 times worse. And we, again, that's why we're doing this social distancing and quarantine and all this stuff. So we can have things open up sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
If we practice these things and be safe and be smart, like things are going to come, I don't know. Yeah. It's not hard to understand and people don't get it. So,
and on that same note, I personally would prefer, like, if it came down to it and the rest of 2020 was like this, I would rather do that and then not have to worry about it in the future than like relax on it too soon. Things get worse. And then every single winter we have to go through this.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather have one real bad year than every single winter we have to, distance ourselves. Hey, we have 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But I think we'll go 4 more weeks. I'm gonna hedge my bets because I think I get like the little like local news notifications and they say that like whatever, who's the governor, Kim
Reynolds.
Yeah, she was like, oh yeah, the peak is like within the next 2 weeks or something like that. So I don't know.
Correct.
She's an idiot. I'm sorry.
She's not.
She's going off a point system that's not really making sense. But
where did you see that the peak was going to be in June?
I'll find the article. I was just like scanning through articles, and it was like the second week of June or something like that. It might vary by state, but I was just thinking like on a countrywide basis.
Yeah, it'll definitely vary by population and stuff. Because like, I don't know if we mentioned it here, but there's been like 2 deaths in Scott County so far, and they were both people like over 80 years old. So, as far as like the local economy, if they can like give like a pretty sure sign that we're gonna be safe, they're going to open stuff back up before they do it in like New York or Chicago or, Los Angeles or wherever.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll keep doing this until then. We got less than a minute. Want to wrap it up?
Yeah, we should.
Okay.
Don't get cut off.
Well,
I wish I
that was fun.
Seconds.
That was a good talk about the quarantine.
Yeah.
We'll be here next week talking about the quarantine. We'll talk about something fun next week. I want to talk
unless
about
things get real bad.
Yeah, then unless it gets worse. But I really want to talk about the MCU because I love the MCU, and I think we should talk about some future things that are happening. Shall we? Right? What Buddy and I kind of mentioned yesterday at work.
You mean in my basement?
In your basement, yeah. So, all right. Well, my name's Justin.
No, I'm Gavin.
And I'm out of here.
See you guys.
Bye.
Peace.